Hello everyone, myself Dr. Guru Prasad PS, Assistant Professor of Mathematics, Department of Collegiate Education. Today we discuss some theorems on normal subgroups. The intersection of any two normal subgroups of a group G is also a normal subgroup of the group G. We already know the intersection of any two subgroups of a group G is again a subgroup. So we prove now the intersection of any two normal subgroups is again a normal subgroup. Let H and K be any two normal subgroups of G. Since H and K are subgroups of G, H intersection K is also a subgroup of G that we know already. So to prove that H intersection K is normal in G, we have to prove that X inverse belongs to H intersection K for all X belongs to G and H belongs to H intersection K. So let X belongs to G and H belongs to H intersection K. H belongs to H intersection K means H belongs to H and H belongs to K also. So X belongs to G, H belongs to H, and H is a normal subgroup of G given. Therefore, X inverse belongs to H. Similarly, X belongs to G, H belongs to K, and K is a normal subgroup of G. Therefore, X inverse belongs to K also. Therefore, X inverse belongs to H intersection K. This proves H intersection K is normal in G. This is straightforward and simple result. Next we define what is the product of two subsets, that is Hk equal to some element x where x belongs to G, and x is actually written as H into K where H coming from subset H and K coming from subset K. So this is how we define the product of two subset H and K. So using that we prove the product of any two normal subgroups of a group G is again a normal subgroup of the group G. Let H and K be any two normal subgroups of the group G, and as usual we define H into K as defined earlier above. So x belongs to G and x equal to Hk where H coming from capital H and K coming from capital K. Since H and K are subgroups of G, identity will be there in H also and K also. Therefore, identity will be definitely belongs to Hk. Therefore, Hk is non-empty. Now to prove Hk is a normal subgroup of G, first you prove that Hk is a subgroup of G and then prove the normality, that is G, Hk into G inverse belongs to Hk. For all G belongs to G, H belongs to H and K belongs to K. So the definition of normality. Let x belongs to x and y belongs to Hk, then x can be written as H1 into K1 and y can be written as H2 into K2. So take two elements, x and y belongs to Hk. So then obviously x and y can be written as H1 K1 and H2 K2, where H1 H2 are from capital H and K1 K2 are coming from capital K. So now I have to prove that Hk is a subgroup of G, I have to prove that xy inverse belongs to Hk. So consider xy inverse. X means H1 K1 and y means H2 K2. So it becomes H1 K1 into H2 K2 whole inverse. And I know H2 K2 whole inverse is nothing but K2 inverse into H2 inverse. And H1 is nothing but H1 into E I can write. So once you write H1 into E here, so E can be written as H2 inverse into H2. Then use the associativity and write H1 H2 inverse into H2 into K1 K2 inverse into H2 inverse. Now observe, since H is a subgroup, H1 H2 inverse belongs to capital H, and since K is a normal subgroup, H2 K1 K2 inverse into H2 inverse belongs to K, and this belongs to H and this belongs to K. Therefore, clearly belongs to Hk, that is xy inverse belongs to Hk. So this proves Hk is a subgroup of G. Now we have H and K are normal in G, and I have to prove that now HK is normal in G. To prove that HK is normal in G, I have to show that G into some element of HK into G inverse belongs to HK. So consider, since H and K are normal in G, I can write GH G inverse belongs to capital H and GK G inverse belongs to capital K for all G belongs to G and H belongs to capital H and K belongs to capital K. Now GH G inverse into GK G inverse actually belongs to H into K. But G inverse into G using the associativity, G inverse into G again using the inverse law, and we can write G into HK into G inverse which belongs to HK. So here I am using associativity and also next inverse law G inverse G which gives me actually identity. So therefore you will get G into HK into G inverse which belongs to HK. That proves HK is normal in G. Next, let H be a subgroup and K be a normal subgroup of the group G. Then prove that H intersection K is normal in H. Okay. So you have to prove that H intersection K is normal in H. Since H and K are subgroups of G, I know H intersection K is also a subgroup of G. Since H intersection K is always contained in H, so H intersection K is a subgroup in H also. So H intersection K in generally a subgroup of G that we have proved earlier. So since H intersection K is always contained in H, I can say H intersection K is a subgroup of H also. Now take B belongs to H and A belongs to H intersection K. A belongs to H intersection K means A is in H also and A is in K also. Since K is normal subgroup that is given, so B into AB inverse belongs to K. So B is an element of H, therefore it is an element of G, therefore, and K is a normal subgroup of G, therefore I can use B there. Okay, so BAB inverse belongs to K. Also, since H is a subgroup, I know A into B inverse belongs to H because A belongs to H and B belongs to H. AB inverse belongs to H. And B belongs to H, I know. AB inverse belongs to H, I know. And H is a subgroup and closure law holds. Therefore, B into AB inverse, that is BAB inverse, is also in H. That proves BAB inverse belongs to H and also BAB inverse belongs to K. So this implies BAB inverse belongs to H intersection K. So which proves H intersection K is a normal in H. Now, if H is a normal subgroup of G and K is any subgroup of G, then HK is a subgroup of G. Okay, we prove this. So product we know already, I have defined. HK is nothing but some element X. X can be written as H into K, where H belongs to capital H and K belongs to capital K. Since H and K are subgroups of G, we know that identity is in H and identity is in K, therefore identity is in HK, therefore HK is not empty. So same as earlier we proved. Now I have to prove that HK is a subgroup of G. So to prove that HK is a subgroup of G, take two elements X and Y from HK. Since X and Y is in HK, X can be written as H1K1 and Y can be written as H2K2. So where H1, H2 belongs to capital H and K1, K2 belongs to capital K. Now to prove that HK is a subgroup of G, just to prove XY inverse belongs to HK. So consider XY inverse, which is equal to H1K1 into H2K2 whole inverse. Again H2K2 whole inverse can be written as K2 inverse, H2 inverse. Again associativity will give you H1 into K1, K2 inverse, H2 inverse, and K1, K2 inverse is actually, I can take it as K because K is a subgroup is given. So that is what actually given thing. Now H1 K H2 inverse what we have here. Okay, now that can be written as H1 K H2 inverse into E, and E can be written as K inverse into K for some K belongs to capital K. So which is again using the associativity becomes H1 into K H2 inverse K inverse into K, and K H2 inverse K inverse is actually belongs to H, since H is a normal subgroup in G. So K belongs to capital K and K is a subgroup of G, therefore K definitely belongs to G also. So using that, K H2 inverse into K inverse belongs to H. H is given as a normal in G. Using that, so I can write since it is K H2 inverse into K inverse belongs to H, I can write it as an element of H, that I am writing it as H3. So what we got was H1 into H3 into K. So H1 into H3 is again an element of H, it becomes HK. So that belongs to H into K. So XY inverse what we have started with belongs to capital H into capital K for all XY belongs to capital HK. So therefore HK is a subgroup of G. Now the center Z of a group G is normal subgroup of G. We have already defined what is the center of the group. So we define again. Let Z be the center of a group G, then Z equal to, so small z belongs to G, Z x equal to xz for all x belongs to G. For each and every element of G, the commutativity holds in the set. So if that happens, then Z is called as center of a group G. Now take any two elements from capital Z, Z1, Z2, and by the definition of a center of a group G, we can write Z1x equal to xz1 and Z2x equal to xz2 for all x belongs to G. Now consider Z2x equal to xz2 and try to multiply left hand side and right hand side, both the sides by Z2 inverse. After writing it as Z2 inverse, multiplying by Z2 inverse using associativity to make sure, and write Z2 inverse into Z2 into xz2 inverse equal to Z2 inverse into x into Z2 inverse. And I know Z2 inverse into Z2 is again an identity, so use that and write x Z2 inverse equal to Z2 inverse into x. This is what we have here. So that means Z2 inverse is also an element of capital Z, but that obviously happens once Z2 belongs to capital Z, Z2 inverse is also belongs to capital Z. That is what we proved here. Anyways, now consider Z1 into Z2 inverse into X, because I have to prove that capital Z is a subgroup first. To prove that capital Z, that is center of a group, as a subgroup, I have to prove that so Z1 into Z2 inverse belongs to capital Z if Z1 Z2 belongs to capital Z. So that's why I am considering Z1 into Z2 inverse into X, which is actually equal to Z1 into Z2 inverse into X. And I know we proved just now Z2 inverse into X is same as X into Z2 inverse. So again using the associativity, it becomes Z1x into Z2 inverse. Hello? ಅದು ಅವ್ರನ್ನೇ ಕೇಳಿ ದತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಬರೆಸ್ಬೇಕಾ ಅಥವಾ ಮಗ ಅಂತ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಬೇಕಾ ಅಂತ. ಆಗಿದೆ 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 ಲೆಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪತ್ರದಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಬರೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ವಲ್ಲ. ಇದೆ ಅದು ಮಾಮೂಲಿ
ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಆಗಿರೋ ಮಾತ್ರ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಅಂತವ್ರೆ.
ಹಂಗ
ಬರೀ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ, ದತ್ತು ಬೇಡ ಅಂತವ್ರೆ. ನೀವು ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಅಂತವ್ರೆ. ಯಾವ ತರ?
ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ದಿರೋದು ಒಟ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ರಯ ಪತ್ರ ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀತಾರಲ್ಲ,
ಕ್ರಯ ಪತ್ರದಲ್ಲ, ಕ್ರಯ ಪತ್ರದಲ್ಲಂತೆ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಅದು ಕ್ರಯ ಪತ್ರ.
ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಬಬ್ಲಿ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ಡ್ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ಒಂದ್ ನಿಮಿಷ ನೋಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ ತಡಿ. ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ಡ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಂತ. ಅದೇ ಒಂದ್ ನಿಮಿಷ ನೋಡೇ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ ತಡಿ. ಪತ್ರ ಅಂತೂ ಇದೆ, ಪತ್ರ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ಡ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹಿಂದೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೈನ್ ಹಾಕಿ ಇದ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ಬೇಕು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ತಾನೆ. ಅದೇ ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ನೋಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಅಪ್ಪ, ಒಂದು ಕ್ಲಾರಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್. ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ದತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ ನಂದು? ನಾನು ದತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ? ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ ಅದು? ಅಲ್ಲಲ್ಲ, ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ ನಾನು ದತ್ತು ಮಗ ಅಂತ? ಹೇಳಿ. ಹಲೋ, ಹೇಳಿ. ಸರಿ ಸರಿ. ಹಾಂ ಸರಿ ಸರಿ ಆಯ್ತು. ಮನೇಲಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿಸಿದಿರೋ ಇಲ್ವೋ ಅಂತ. ಹಾಂ ಏನಾಯ್ತು? ಅದು ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಹ್ಞೂ ಆಗಿದೆ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಹಾಂ ಓಕೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಮೂಲಿ ಕ್ರಯಪತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಲಾಯರ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೈನ್ ಹಾಕಿ ಇದು ಮಾಡಿ ಸೀಲ್ ಹಾಕಿ ಅರ್ಕಲ್ಗೂಡಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ದತ್ತು ಇವು ಪತ್ರ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು. ಹೌದು ಹೌದು ಆಗಿದೆ, ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಏನಂತ? ಹಾಂ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಡಿ. ಹಾಂ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಡಿ. ಆಯ್ತು ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ. ಹಾಂ ಸರ್ ಹೇಳಿ ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್ ಹೇಳಿ. ಸರ್ ನನಗೆ 39. ಹಾಂ ಹೌದು. ಏನು ವಯಸ್ಸಾ? ಸರ್ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು 57 65 ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್. ಆಧಾರ್ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಸರ್ ಅದೇ ಅದೇ ಆಧಾರ್ ಕಾರ್ಡಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಇಲ್ವಾ? ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ. ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ. ಆಧಾರ್ ಕಾರ್ಡಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಯರ್ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಹಾಂ ಅದೇ ಸರ್, ಆಧಾರಲ್ಲಿ 59 ಅಲ್ಲ 1959. ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ 62 ವರ್ಷ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. 62 ವರ್ಷ. ನಂದು 81, 39 ವರ್ಷ. ಹಾಂ ನಂದು 39, ಅಮ್ಮಂದು 62. ಅಲ್ವಾ? which actually shows Z1 into Z2 inverse into X is equal to Z1X into Z2 inverse. Now, X into Z1 into Z2 inverse can be written as X into Z1 Z2 inverse using the associativity, and also Z1X equal to XZ1, and which implies Z1 Z2 inverse into X is equal to X into Z1 Z2 inverse, which proves Z1 Z2 inverse belongs to the center of the group G. So that proves actually capital Z, that is center of a group G, is a subgroup of G. To prove that it is a normal subgroup, take any element X belongs to G and Z belongs to center of a group G, capital Z. Then X inverse can be written as again by using the associativity XZ into X inverse, and XZ is equal to ZX because small z belongs to capital Z, which is the center of a group. Therefore, XZ is equal to ZX. And again, using the associativity and inverse law, XX inverse equal to E, you will get small z which belongs to capital Z. That is, XZ X inverse belongs to capital Z. So once it proves XZ X inverse belongs to capital Z for all X belongs to G and small z belongs to capital Z, so capital Z is a normal subgroup of G. Now we define normalizer or centralizer of an element of a group. The set of all those elements of G which commutes with a given element A is called the normalizer of A and will be denoted by NA or N of A. So that is, small NA is equal to a set of elements X belongs to G, where AX equal to XA, means it is commutative with the element A. All the elements which contains all the elements which commutes with the element A. Note, since EX equal to XE for all X belongs to G, so NE is equal to whole G itself. The normalizer of the identity element is the whole group G. If A belongs to G and G is abelian, then obviously AX equal to XA for all X belongs to G. So consequently, then also NA is actually equal to G. That is, the normalizer of every element of an abelian group is the whole group G. Now we try to prove this corollary. The center Z of a group G is normal subgroup of a normalizer of an element. Means, so Z is a normal subgroup of NA for some element A in G. So we have for all Z belongs to capital Z, ZX equal to XZ for all X belongs to G. That is the definition of center of a group G. In particular, it happens with the element A also, where A belongs to G. That is ZA equal to AZ. So that implies if ZA equal to AZ, then small z belongs to the normalizer of A. That implies the capital Z, the center of a group, is contained in normalizer of an element A. So since A is an arbitrary element, so the center of a group is contained in a normalizer of an element of G. As Z is a group by itself and Z is a subgroup of NA, also we know that Z is normal in G. All these facts combine and says capital Z is normal in NA. So Z is a group itself and Z is subgroup of NA we have proved, and also capital Z is normal in G, therefore capital Z is normal in NA also. So which proves, so the center of a group G is normal subgroup of a normalizer of an element. Thank you.